Today guys, I'm going to do a review of the 6505 mini head comparison to the Mark V mini head. Okay, real quick so we understand the review, here's how it works. I'm running straight into the amps into a Mesa Boogie Lone Star 112 cabinet with a V30 speaker, SM57 mic, into a Mackie mixer running totally flat into the camera. I have an SM58 mic on my voice, but I turn it off when we start playing. We'll start with the Mark V tone and distortion. Here we go. Now, the 6505 mini. Now we're going to do the 6505 mini with, let's turn the reverb down, in the clean tone with the crunch engaged. So this is the clean sound, but it has a little boost to give it a little bit of bluesy rock tone. Here we go, ready? Now the Mark V Mini, same thing. We're in the clean channel, but we're on the crunch mode. So again, this is your blues rock tone in clean on the Mark V Mini. Now is your 6505 mini clean tone. Now this isn't pushed or anything, it's just a little clean with the internal reverb. Here we go. Now here's your Mark V Mini clean tone. Now here's a 6505 Mini lead tone. Now the Mark V Mini lead tone. Okay, so now you've heard the sounds, let's talk about the features real fast. Obviously, they're almost identical in size. So you know, almost in every single way, identical in size. Comparable weights? Absolutely. I'd have to look at the specs, but I think the 6505 might be a pound or two heavier, but otherwise they feel about the same to me. Okay, feature-wise. So I'm not going to go in order, I'm just going to go in what I've kind of perceived. The Mark V has two independent channels, which is nice. In other words, every single EQ, every single thing, reverb, everything is independent of each other, so you don't feel like you have to compromise anything with the Mark V. The 6505, you have to share the EQ, the resonance, and the presence, plus the reverb. It's not really a downside of it, it's just explaining the difference of it. Both have a wattage adjustment, so you can independently, though, on the Mark V, go from 25 to 10 watts in either channel. But on the 6505, even though it's both channels, that you can mess with the wattage, or one wattage for both channels, it actually does 25 or 1, and the 1 watt is really the selling feature of this amp. The fact that at late night play you could get the power section just really pushing was really nice. I really enjoyed it. Other feature is, on the disadvantage of the Mark V is that it has a crunch mode on the clean, which is really nice and you get a really good tone. It has the same crunch mode on the 65.5's clean, but that's switchable, which is a nice option. Also, the reverb on the 6505 is foot switchable, where on the Mark V it is not. Only the EQ is foot switchable. So there's another feature there. Both basically have line out direct outs. I'm not doing a review of that, but there's great reviews on that too, so it's a strong feature for both. Both have effects loops, which is nice. And both include the foot switches, which is 2-button foot switches to do all these kind of options with cable and everything, which is nice. This one is made in China, and this one's made in USA, but that explains why this one's $500 and this one's $13. So, you know, I mean, I would like it to be made in USA, but I would expect if it was made in USA, it'd be $900 to $1,000. And I'd actually be okay with that, but that's not the way they went, so that's what we have. Noise-wise, this one hums just a little bit more than this one, makes a little bit more noise than the Mark V as a whole. But when I'm saying that, I'm just nitpicking that technically if you're going for total quiet of the actual amplifier, not the actual sound, this one is a little less noisy or hummy than the Mark V. Volume-wise, I think the Mark V puts out just a little bit more power, but both are very, very impressive as amplifiers for 20 watts. Even though the Mark V is 25 watts, maybe that's where it gives it that edge, the extra 5 watts. The other thing that's really cool about them is the coolest feature, actually, believe it or not, I think on the 6505 is that when you turn it on, so you've seen the thing, if you've seen the videos, it has a tube tester, that's what these two red lights are. And when you turn it on, it tests your tubes and they go green. But I enjoy this more. When you turn on the standby, what happens is even before the lights go green, you can get sound out of it. But the lights, when they go green, they're going to basically tell you when the tubes are warm enough to start playing. And I notice all of a sudden you get optimal tone when they're green. So it's really nice when you turn them off, right, and you turn it back on, that you know you're getting that good tone when you're in the green mode. That's a cool feature as well. Both have standby switches, and again, this comes with a cover, this one doesn't, but again, the price difference reflects that. Overall, just an amazing amp. I'm not getting rid of either one. I love them both. All right, guys, thanks for your time. Know your gear.